Jala, Shigushe Jen Procter Andrews. Today I'm going to address some of the topics I've heard mentioned at meetings recently and also on Facebook and some of the questions that people have asked of me directly. But before I begin, I need to remind you that democracy is not a spectator sport. We all need to vote. It is so easy and so important. And the more people who are involved with our success, the more we are likely to succeed. United, together, we are a strong voice for sovereignty, and at this time in history, it's more important than ever that we stand together to exercise and protect our rights as the strong sovereign nation that we are. Okay, let's get to business. Let's answer some questions. First, family camp. So, do we do family camp? When and where? I feel like it's important to note that the sheer number of people who attend this event, out of around 1,000 tribal members total, we have around 65% participation, which makes it obvious that people love our time at camp. Children from opposite sides of the country are able to meet in person for the first time. And these are our future leaders we're talking about. It's important they get to know each other. Our cousins get together for potlucks. And I know that tribal members from all over the world also come together to relax and enjoy their families here. It was great to see so many faces at the General Council meeting at Family Camp, and it's also apparent that to keep this momentum going, we should make this a priority. So with the knowledge that it's so widely enjoyed, it's time to set the goal for specific funding. So where do we have family camp? Of course, Sun River gives us many options for activities with families and tribal members. And I see that the dream of building our own facility could be successful as well. With some careful planning, definitely, and plenty of tribal input. Okay, on to the next. Economic ventures. So we've achieved success in some of our businesses. And of course, as we all know, we've failed as well. Some of the most successful business people in history made mistakes. The most important thing they did is to learn from them. Business is not just about development, but also follow through. We will begin to see higher rates of success when we have the tools we need, like careful planning, including an exit strategy, and when the people doing the day-to-day work have intimate knowledge of the needs of the business that they are running. When we have proven room for growth in the market, and of course, where we have adequate profit margins is where we're going to see the most success in our businesses. Okay, on to the next. Term limits. Exciting. Okay, term limits on tribal council could be very useful for progress. I also believe transparency and the elections process is really tied into this issue. I hear the request for runoffs and elections over and over. It's time for that to happen. We have the technology to hold town halls and meetings and question and answer sessions with candidates anywhere and to broadcast them online for everyone to watch. I know firsthand how frustrating it is to be expected to vote for someone without knowing how they speak and carry themselves, how they will represent us to other tribes and dignitaries, or how they process information in order to make these important decisions. I'll be sure we include a council member voting record in all meeting minutes and update members uniformly and regularly regarding their attendance and activities, including work done in any tribal capacity and on boards and committees. The most important thing is that tribal members feel that we are being represented by smart, dedicated, trustworthy, and motivated leaders who can see the big picture and are protecting our future. And for that, we really just need more information. Okay, next. Cultural history preservation. There was a time when we were just starting out, just recovering, and just getting our bearings after restoration. We're setting up our education and healthcare programs and getting our first lands into trust, finding our tribal family. And now that we have accomplished so much, We are at another critical stage, and we must begin to increase our connection to our cultural history. Our culture is what distinguishes us from everyone else. It's our language and the objects and beliefs and art we create, our actions, and the way we live our lives. During the Women's Retreat, I had the chance to view some of our baskets that the Berkeley Museum has in their possession. And it was an emotional experience that I could feel in my stomach. I think we all know that it's wrong that they're there, locked up in storage. And we've been doing wonderful work in the area of culture, but it's time to amp it up. It's in our culture and connections that we find solutions to our current issues, and we're able to plan better for tomorrow's needs. And it's within these connections that we live and our tribal story is created, and we're not only a tribe of the past, we are a living culture moving into our future. It's time to use technology to help each other connect. It's time we had cultural videos online for anyone to access. Tribal members can participate from their homes in Hawaii or Denmark or Coos Bay. It's time for language classes online. We need to be making sure our wonderful employees have a deep understanding of our culture also, and that we're always considering our culture when making decisions in our workshops and on our boards and in committees. One last thing for today. I recently heard somebody in a meeting talk about the web portal and saying that he doesn't know why it exists because we don't really have any sensitive information there. It seems to be just an extra step for tribal members to go through. And what I think about this is that we do have sensitive information that should be there, but it's not. Tribal members need to have access to meeting agendas for our committees and boards and our workshops through that portal. We should also be receiving minutes from our committees and boards and workshops through that portal. It's our right, and it's important for us to know when these meetings are taking place and if we're actually able to attend these meetings or not, where they're going to take place, and if we can call into them. This is just a little bit of the important information that I think should be on that portal. We've done a great job with the website, and we can just take it a little bit further in the future. Okay, these topics are important to me and our tribal future. I'll be addressing more next week as well. Feel free to contact me with questions or comments. Thank you for your vote. Thanks for watching. Shuin Halne.